podcast that empowers the neighborhood and the city of Miami. And as Art Talk is about, it brings you all the art happenings from the canvas to the red carpet. This morning I have Louis Brignoni from Wynwood Brewery. Welcome. Good morning, Louis.
Good morning, Susana. Happy to be here with you.
Oh, I'm so happy. It's definitely a delayed interview. I wanted you, I think in 2013, you opened up the very first brewery handmade in Miami. Can you tell our audience when you opened up and why did you decide to get into the brewery?
Well, we opened up in August, actually. August 16th was the day we got our license in order to manufacture beer in Miami for the first time since, I believe, the 60s or the 70s. So we are considered, I guess, the first for quite a while. And we started manufacturing, like I said, in August, distribution in September. We opened up our tap room in December. It's been great.
And your Wynwood tap room, which is open now since December, which I've gone, and it's phenomenal. I mean, you have these beautiful behind the tap room. You have a large glass encase, and there you can see while you're drinking the fermentation of the beer, the different distillery tanks, and the fermentation and the process. Now, what I wanted to ask you, Louis, what made you think of saying to yourself, because not every person, I mean, I could say I'm going to be an accountant, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to go work in real estate, but not every person says, I'm going to start a brewery.
Right. So I started brewing while I was in college. My father actually got me a little home brewing kit. So I started experimenting. It was a cheap way for me to make good beer. And, you know, all college students were kind of all on a budget. So started experimenting with that, really became passionate with it, but, you know, taught myself a lot of stuff. The home brewing community and the craft beer community in general is very welcoming. So if you have any questions or anything, anybody will help you out. So yeah, that was about 7-8 years ago. Then I had a business while I was in college, you know, did the whole corporate thing. And, you know, throughout the entire time, there was still nothing in Miami. So which I found kind of odd. You know, Miami is an international city. You know, we just turned, 118 years old yesterday. And there's nothing to, you know, there's a lot of people relate to their, to their home, especially here, whether they're from Nicaragua or they're from Panama or wherever,
Sure.
to their local beer. You know, good luck trying to tell Venezuela that Pilar's not a good beer, you know what I mean? So I thought, you know, part of Miami's really going through a whole kind of revitalization, cultural renaissance, and I thought, you know, there really needs to be a beer. There needs to be a Miami beer.
And it's not just a Miami beer. It's an amazing microbrewery of different productions, of different labels. I went there the other day. I brought a group, a small group, just to see, because, you know, as you know, the Art Experiences is going to be launching soon for the fall, the Spirit Art Crawl.
Right.
And so I had these flights that you do. Mm-hmm. And the flights are like this little wooden tray that you get with these little holes in it. Mm-hmm. And inside are 4 ounces?
Yep, 4 ounces.
4 of them.
Yep. And
you get to choose from a chalkboard of all the flavors of the day, so to speak, and the signature ones.
Right.
And I have Rubia. Is it called Rubia?
La Rubia, right.
La Rubia.
Yes.
I like that one. That's a great beer, by the way. I just loved it. And I had several of them. And I have to tell you, so you started in college. Mm-hmm. This was something to get cheap beer, quick for your friends and yourself.
But good.
But good, always
right.
good. Yeah, I could tell. But it was a perfect platform for testing to what resonates today as the city of Miami's first brewery in Wynwood, handmade in Miami, and we're going to be coming back with more on the Wynwood Brewery with Louis Brignoni.
There you go.
And if they wanted to find out about you until we come back from our break, where would they go to find out about you, Louis?
WynwoodBrewing.com or Facebook /Wynwood Brewing, Instagram /Wynwood Brewing. We're pretty
Wynwood Brewing, WYNWOOD in Miami, Florida, since we're internationally heard through iHeartRadio and through South Florida 880 The Biz on the Money Man, Art Talk Susana Baker. That's my name. And
Luis Brignoni with Winwood Brewing.
we'll be right back after commercial breaks. All right, so we are back with Louis Brignoni from Winwood Brewery, the first brewery handmade in Miami. Now, I love that term. Handmade is one of my favorite terms. It means that someone very passionately, just creatively put all their hearts, tears, sweat into creating something new, thinking out of the box, making it by hand. That's a craft beer. And so with that said, what was one of your first beers that, okay, I have a friend, and you have a mutual friend called Matt Malone from Miami Club Rum.
Yep.
He's also the first rum distillery in Miami, in the city
Winwood.
In Winwood too, and in the city of Miami. Now, when I had him on the show a couple of months ago, it was interesting to me that it took him 9 years before opening the doors, because there's so much,
Bureaucracy?
yes, and government and all permits and all kinds of bonds you got to put up before you even open the door. Now, does that hold true for the beer industry, brewing?
To some extent, yes, but not as much as, for sure, not as much as Matt. The liquor and spirits is definitely harder. There's definitely have a lot more oversight than we do. I believe that he gets audited every month. We get audited every 6 months. So it's a little bit more laxed for us brewers. Our major hurdle, and I think still a hurdle for brewers here, just because we're the first, it's really exciting to see all these other breweries that are popping up. In Winwood alone, we have 2 that are coming in the pipeline within the next 6 months, I hope, and it's really exciting to see. However, it's still taking them a while to get open, and I think it just has to do with a lot of the education that we still have to give to our government officials. That's all it is. They don't. A lot of the people think brewery and they think Anheuser-Busch, and they think it's a massive production. Have you seen our production?
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
We're able to put a good amount of beer out there, but nowhere near the amount of beer that a large brewery can
Right,
do.
that's why you're crafted and handmade. That's
right.
what, it's supposed to be, Now, even though we say, and we want to keep it very, for the discriminating of taste, the bohemian, the person looking for handmade and crafty, but at the same token, it's a damn good beer. And so people are going to want it. And do you see yourself do you see yourself in big boxes? Like what I say by big boxes, Publix, Winn-Dixie's, like carrying Winwood Brewery beers? I see that.
Not at the moment. We're not even a year old yet.
I know, that's so cool.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty exciting. We right now we're focusing a lot on targeted brands that we want to co-brand with, and we've got a couple in the pipeline which we're really excited with. Hopefully, we'll be able to announce them here in the next couple of weeks.
Oh my God, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
So some of these bigger guys in the leagues are looking into some of the craft productions.
Yeah, for instance, we were during the playoffs for the Heat. We were at the AAA Arena, and they reached out to us, and they were great to work with. And,
great.
the
Where else can you find Winwood Brewery beer? Where else in Miami? Winwood Kitchen and Bar, right?
Absolutely.
They pair they were one of the first to bring you on board to pair it with their meals and dinners. And where else can someone find it if I'm on the beach, let's say?
If you're on the beach, we're at the Clandestino Pub on Washington. We're at Panther Coffee.
Are there any liquor stores that carry you yet?
Everything that we do is on premise. So
on
that's
premise.
So everything is draft at the moment.
Oh, it's draft, and then eventually going into bottling.
That's right. Yeah, that's something that we've been talking, and we're actually going to be experimenting this week. We're going to be doing our first bottle, actually.
Yay!
So yeah.
Oh my God. Well, me coming from the art side, I'm already thinking of some of the artists that should be painting at least during Art Basel, the Winwood Brewery bottles.
Well, actually, we actually have CP1 is doing the label for our first production run.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, we have a good relationship with him. We have a good relationship with a lot of the local artists.
Of course, and on your building, you got Crave, or also known as Fila.
Right.
Inside, you got one of my favorite, Trek 6. Now, you said something funny when I said Louis Brignoni sounds Italian. He goes, well, it is an Italian name. And I go, well, that doesn't, no, I said, it doesn't sound Puerto Rican. You go, well, neither does Susana Baker. And it's true, you're a fellow Puerto Rican like
That's
me.
right.
And Trek 6 is also Puerto Rican. You know, the great thing about the city of Miami and Miami as a whole is the influx of so many cultures and the beauty of just seeing all these, you know, wonderful people from Nicaragua, from Cuba, from Puerto Rico, from Honduras, from Russia, just on and on, you know, Venezuela, and the mixing of Wynwood, how wonderful it is. You know, you go down one block, there's a beautiful mural of someone who is from Nicaragua but lives here, like Luis Val.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also Diana Contreras, who's from Peru, but she's a Miami own. And Luis Brignoni, who is also Miami own. You know, we embrace you, you're here, this is your home, but you come from Puerto Rico.
That's right.
And that's an awesome story. Now, I have to tell you, you're having a 1-year anniversary. If you said August 16, 2013, you open your doors.
That's right. Yeah, we have a 1-year anniversary coming up next month. We're closing off 24th Street. We're going to have food trucks out there. We're going to be doing our first bottle release, as I said. It's going to be from 12 to 10. We're pretty excited. It's going to be a nice celebration.
Oh, that's great. Well, I definitely want to see if I go out there with our new truck and do some recording and live broadcasting. Now, and I can't wait to hear about the new bottle, that's for sure. I wanted to tell you, when you opened up your doors, now you do tours of all your, you have
Yes.
a tour of the brewery. What are your tours?
We have tours Saturdays and Sundays at 1 p.m. and also with Miami Brew Bus from Matt Cush from Locale and Cush.
Oh, so the brew bus is by Cush?
Yep.
The same little restaurant that's on 20th?
Yep.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
We keep it in the family.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you, we're going to be taking a commercial break soon, but for people listening to us from all over the world, and the Money Man is with Dan and Alicia Frischberg. They've given Art Talk and the platform of art a voice every Tuesday at 10:30, and we keep getting more and more amazed by the guests that we find, and it's just endless, the creativity that you can find in Miami. But Wynwood in particular is just a wonderful place in Florida, in Miami, of tons of murals of the very first distillery of rum, the very first brewery ever, Wynwood Brewery, and just every corner of Wynwood has something exciting, something new, something unusual. And if you haven't been to Wynwood, shame on you. And for those that come internationally that are listening to us, you definitely want to go to www.theartexperiences.com. Not only will you see the show of Luis Brignoni from Wynwood Brewery on my website, but you will also see a hyperlink onto his. And you should definitely come through Wynwood. If you don't do a tour with me, go and GPS it. Go enjoy a flight. His beers are phenomenal. Luis, once again, where's your location of Wynwood Brewery in Miami, Florida?
We are located at 565 Northwest 24th Street. That's between 5th and 6th Avenue on 24th Northwest.
Now, your hours of operation?
We're open Tuesday through Thursday 2 to 11, Friday 2 to midnight, Saturday noon to midnight, and Sundays noon to 10.
Oh, wow. So during the weekdays, again, Tuesdays through
Thursday.
Friday, Tuesdays through Thursday.
2 to 11.
2 to 11. Okay.
Fridays 2 to midnight.
All right. I like that. So, okay. So, Art Talk on the Money Man with Daniel Frischberg and Alicia Frischberg. Thank you for letting us empower the arts in Wynwood. We're going to come back right after these commercials. I'm Susana Baker.
I'm Luis Brignoni.
We'll be right back on Art Talk. Okay, folks. So, we're back with Art Talk. And I have my guest here for the creative founder of Wynwood Brewery, Luis Brignoni. I'm so happy that you're on the show because, as I was saying during commercial breaks, this show really is like an education for me because as I bring guests that I bump into in Wynwood, which is such a creative district, There's not one door you don't walk through that you don't see some amazing jaw-dropping art or murals on the walls. For me, Wynwood is a living, breathing canvas. And inside these warehouses are functional warehouses, still with shoes, handbags, because we were and still are the manufacturing hub of the Caribbean. And so now, the recessions of the 70s came in. Carter signed that deal with the Mariel boat lift. Thousands of people got up afraid that their property values were going to drop because of the Mariel and all the 125,000 Cuban refugees. They got up and they left. And Wynwood, Miami Beach, Design District, ghost town. Poof, nothing. A lot of artists started to go into Wynwood only because Coco Walcott came in and, that raised the price. South Beach, when Johnny Versace bought, the rest was history. International monies were coming in. And so now Wynwood started to get people of artists and creativity to go into these warehouses. Tony Goldman, David Lombardi came in seeking for warehouses closest to South Beach in order to rent back to those restaurants and hotels. Tony saw no windows in these warehouses and right away thought, using the platform of Basel, let's bring in some muralists. Now we know that Books and Primary Flight did that a decade prior to Goldman. So these walls were already walls and canvases that were expressions for all artists from all over the country. And so now Wynwood is blowing up. And everybody's afraid of what's going to happen in the future. So Louis, when I see your Wynwood Brewery, and I'm praying you bought the building, but if you didn't buy the building, what do you see your future as so many other artists in Wynwood with what's happening?
Well, honestly, I think it's a good transformation, personally. I mean, everybody's got their opinion. I'll give you mine. I think we're going about it the right way. I think this is a lot of people compare Wynwood to, or they say it's not necessarily naturally forming. They say it's a lot of developer driven, spaces or whatnot. But I think it's going about the right way. I think they are doing a good job of getting the right tenants in the right places.
That's the main key. As long as I don't see a CVS and a 7-Eleven, I'm good to go.
And I don't think you will, because if that were to happen, it would just kill the whole neighborhood.
That's my fear. That's right. The only fear I got, because when I hear 7-Eleven or anything like that, not that I'm saying I have had, but it's always my fear. Obviously, our demographics and the area doesn't call for a 7-Eleven. They have their own requirements. But they definitely call for Wynwood Brewery. They call for Miami Club Rum. They call for wonderful entrepreneurs like yourself that are creative, out of the box. You put your blood, sweat, all your education into this business, and we only wish you the best. Now, if I wanted to start a brewery, I didn't even know school exists for this. How long did you have to go? I could just imagine looking at your tanks. If you haven't gone to Wynwood, Miami, in Florida, in the United States, you want to go and GPS Wynwood Brewery, and you got to take a tour. You have to go there by yourself. Call us, The Art Experience. We would love to do it as well with you. But of course, if you want, you have to go there. You're near Wynwood. You're from Miami. You're listening to the show. Go Tuesdays through Thursdays from 2 to 11. Fridays from 2 to midnight, Saturdays from 2 to midnight, and Sundays from 2 to 10. So I have to tell you, your first flight, what were the flavors?
So the first couple of beers that I first brewed were terrible. But they got better. They progressed. The first beer that we currently have as our core that we thought we nailed down was Pop's Porter, and it was just consistently made. Then we took a stab at La Rubia, and that took us a couple of tries, a significant amount of tries to get exactly where we wanted. But we did it, and right now she's tasting great. She's actually our number one in our flagship.
Yeah, La Rubia.
Yep.
I love her.
Yeah, and then our IPA took us a little bit. We're still doing a little bit of changes here and there, trying to iron her out.
You also have a beer with like a coffee flavor.
That's right. We partnered up with Panther Coffee, and we did our porter. We infused it with Panther Coffee. We had Joel come in and kind of taste it, and we kind of figured out which way we wanted to do it, and he helped us out big time. And Joel is, if you don't know who Joel Pollock is, he's the owner of Panther Coffee.
Yes.
World-renowned roaster. And that's what actually kind of goes to what you were saying, all the great businesses that are in Wynwood.
I reached out to Joel to come to the radio show, so he'll be coming in the future.
Awesome.
But yeah, our show is to empower creative geniuses, I call them, and people who really put their lives and everything to leave a legacy in Miami, not only for your family, but for all the community to enjoy and to come in a creative atmosphere. The tanks, the fermentation tanks, the distillery tanks are amazing. They look like these giant robots that are going to take off like from Kennedy Center. I mean, I'm just looking at them. I'm like, oh, Matt Malone just made this whole big, for his still, this whole big pipe. I mean, you guys are like these mad scientists.
Yeah.
That's how I see you guys. And Wynwood Kitchen and Bar, we love you. We wish you all the best. I'll be there partying August 16th. And again, where would I find you?
565 Northwest 24th Street.
That's right. That's in Wynwood. And also wynwoodbrewery.com.
That's right.
Or Facebook / Wynwood Brewery.
Yeah, it's wynwoodbrewing.com.
Brewing. Wynwood Brewing.
That's right.
Okay, sorry. You should have corrected me a long time ago. I think I
problem.
kept saying Wynwood Brewery.
Yeah, that's all
Wynwood
right.
Brewing. We love La Rubia. May she continue strong. Can't wait to see your new bottle opening. For those that want to see Wynwood Miami in Florida, go to theartexperiences.com. Wishing you a sunny week, and see you next week. Art Talk, Susana Baker, and the Money Man, Dan Frischberg, and Alicia Frischberg.